Go behind the N.B.A.S curtain every week with Mark Stein's weekly newsletter. Sign up here and we'll send Mark's expert insights directly to your inbox. LeBron James may not be moving to Los Angeles after all. My best advice when it comes to the looming third installment of the LeBron sweepstakes: don't just assume he's going to the Lakers in free agency, and don't write off the Cavaliers yet. King James' free agency choice is the storyline that will lord over the whole league in 2018, but I tend to believe he's still months away from knowing what he wants to do, despite the persistent chatter that he's Hollywood-bound. As his longtime business partner and confidant Maverick Carter stated rather clearly in a November radio interview with Rich Eisen, when you win as an athlete, that matters the most. Consider that a pretty decent hint that James is liable to take a long look around to see which franchise can offer him the best hope of challenging Golden State and adding to his 3 championship rings, whether that's the Lakers, Houston, Philadelphia, Team X that hasn't even been mentioned as a possible destination, or, yes, his hometown Cavs. Markelle Fultz won't play another game in his rookie season. This is the old reverse jinx trick sports writers love. That's right, I'm openly hoping I'm wrong here, that just writing this leads to a Fultz comeback after the All-Star break and a stream of "I told you SOS" from angry Philadelphians. But the reality is that it's near impossible now to envision Fultz playing again before at least Summer League, thanks to the mysterious evaporation of the shooting mechanics that helped make him the number 1 overall pick last June. Fultz's teammates, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, missed their entire rookie seasons with the Sixers, yet Fultz's case is so much scarier and sadder. With Embiid and Simmons, their injury issues were easy to pinpoint. When you hear Sixers coach Brett Brown speak, "I've never experienced anything like this," Brown said this week. It only amplifies fears that what's going on with Fultz is being caused by some sort of evil spell derived from whatever plagued the former Los Angeles Dodgers infielder Steve Sax on his throws to first base. An oft-forgotten part of the story that offers some hope for the Sixers and their fans: Sax eventually got past his 1983 woes to win a World Series with the Dodgers in 1988 and thrive in the field for the Chicago White Sox in 1989. This is the year Portland will break up the potent backcourt of Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. The Blazers don't want to trade either one, especially when they awoke Wednesday ranked 7th in the league in defensive efficiency despite the annual external skepticism about the pairing's capabilities at that end of the floor. But the easiest path to balancing the roster is by parting with one of their 2 guards, most likely McCollum, for a package headlined by a front-court player on their level. No one's suggesting it'll happen before the February 8 trade deadline, but Portland's latest so-so season threatens to be the impetus that finally pushes the longtime Blazers owner Paul Allen in a new direction. DeMarcus Cousins will re-sign with New Orleans. The Pelicans are planning a 5-year maximum offer to Cousins approaching an estimated $175 million. The marketplace, as it stands, isn't exactly teeming with attractive alternatives for Cousins to consider, with rival suitors limited to offering 4-year deals. New Orleans is thus a heavy favorite to keep its throwback big man tandem of Cousins and Anthony Davis intact. Also FYI, the Pelicans are nowhere close to even entertaining a single trade proposal for Davis from Boston or anyone else. The Brow, based on everything I've heard, badly wants to make it work with the Pels and also happens to be under contract for 2 more seasons after this one. No matter how many people suggest it, Boston can't trade for Anthony Davis. So can we drop this one? Jay Triano will be retained as coach of the Phoenix Suns. Triano is one of 2 interim coaches in the league at present, along with Memphis JB. Bickerstaff, but the signals I'm getting suggest that the Suns focusing on player development more than the results in the standings are leaning toward making Triano their full-time replacement for Earl Watson. Vince Carter will retire with the Toronto Raptors. The salary cap mathematics make it pretty costly for Toronto to swing a deal before the February 8 trade deadline and absorb Carter's $8 million salary just to fortify its bench and boost its experience quotient. But Carter, who turns 41 on January 26, will be back on the free agent market in July. Whether he decides to play on for one more season or the Raptors simply want to sign him so he can go out the way he came in as Air Canada, it's a second marriage I think. Torontonians are ready to toast the Cleveland Cavaliers will reach a 4th successive NBA Finals. Given how bad they've looked lately, especially defensively, this may be my boldest prediction. Even the Cavaliers have sounded pessimistic about pulling out of their recent 3-9 funk, but I still can't talk myself into the idea that Boston or Toronto can win 4 times in a 7-game series against a LeBron James-led squad. James sat wearily at his locker in Toronto last week after a humbling 34-point rout and chided a reporter for even daring to suggest that Cleveland can flip the proverbial switch once the playoffs begin. But his Cavs did exactly that last season, playing .500 ball for more than half of the schedule, going 23-23 after January 8, and then looking like a completely different team in the East playoffs, going 12-1. The Celtics and Raptors are indeed more formidable than they were then, and Kyrie Irving, rather crucially, plays in Boston now, but I'll let others say Team LeBron can't do it again. The Golden State Warriors will fail to re-apologies. Can't even bring myself to type the words. The Warriors will win their 3rd championship in 4 seasons in June. Good luck finding a scribe sufficiently fearless to pick otherwise.